Hi Leo, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I keep seeing Pisces pop up, Leo. Maybe significant Pisces placement in your chart, could be somebody that you are dealing with, could be a transit that you're having. I'm hearing there's so much to connect with. All right, Leo, let's see what's going on. There's a bit of a struggle, a bit of a tug of war that you are feeling about what it is that's happening, what it is that's unfolding, what it is that you are in charge of even doing. You may be in a space where you know that you want to create, you know that you want to make something. It's just about figuring out what that is. Like, what are my intentions here? What am I trying to do? What does the end goal of this look like for me? For some of you, this can even be like you wanting to say something to somebody, you even wanting to like get up and say something in general, like a statement. If you can hear that in the background, I think that O is having a climbing adventure right now. O is my cat, for anybody new. Why does the Magician feel conflicted? Conflict comes from duality. There's something that you may feel multiple ways about that are not congealed, is what I'm hearing. Meaning not integrated is how I'm seeing this to be. You want to reflect on this because it's going to help you straighten this out. Keep your focus on the main goal, on the main priority, on like the main vision or the main component, the objective. Yeah, I keep seeing this again. Pisces, there's either a Pisces that's like in your orbit, Leo, or there's a prominent Pisces placement that you have that is going to be coming into play, that is going to be important here. There may also be a lot that you feel like is hidden, Leo. So right next to you, Leo, I'm looking at Pluto. This is Scorpio energy. I'm looking at Mercury, Virgo, Pluto, Leo. There's something big that you're being called to do, and when you reflect, you're recognizing this. Hey, I don't want to keep going on like this, feeling like I'm at odds with myself. So how do I get myself into a space where I can channel my energy into a single thing? What I'm getting is that, one, I'm seeing a very, very powerful energy for you, Leo. So I'm not really seeing that be an issue for you. You definitely have the manpower that is needed for you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. However, you are going to feel like it is diluted unless you get all of your energy kind of in the same channel is what I'm hearing. Okay. So that's why working out this inner conflict is going to be important. It's kind of like figuring out what you want to use your powers for. This is what I'm seeing it as. Like, do we want to, if we feel conflicted about the way that we want to be using our powers, like, are we using it for things that are kind of colliding with one another? So every time you make progress here, like this thing over here kind of like evens that out and then brings it down. something about things like crossing each other out, or do we want to get to a space where we can figure out like, hey, this is my main goal that I want to be working on and I just want to build? Because it seems like something you've been trying to do, there's a sense of like not being able to do these two things at once for some reason, or you may feel like you want these like vastly or starkly different things that don't allow you to have both. I want to get further and see what exactly this is about. Okay. It's about what you want to be exploring. It's about what you want to be discovering, but you may feel like there are multiple directions that you want to be going in. And how do you break ground when there are so many different places where you want to break ground? You may just need to take your time with this. You know, this actually kind of reminds me of an old story about somebody that is trying to like dig to create a well to get water to come up, and it's like they start digging over here and then they don't see water, so they're like, okay, I'm gonna leave this and I'm gonna go dig over here, and then they start digging over here and water's not coming up, so they go somewhere else and they start digging and then water's not coming up. And like every spot that they go to, it's like they just dig a little bit and there's no water coming up, so they abandon ship and then go to the next place. It's like nothing is getting accomplished. However, if they would have just stuck with what they were doing and kept digging, it would have created a well. And the thing is that if you want multiple wells, you're gonna have to dig deep for each of them. You can't just dig a little bit and then be like, oh, it's not working. You have to go all the way into it. You have to like completely like commit and immerse yourself. And that's what I'm getting here. There may be multiple things that you want to do. If you're trying to do too much at one time, you're not going to accomplish any of it. So it's about just picking. And if you're feeling this conflicted, there may not be one thing that's like more important than the other. It's just a matter of preference, or even however you randomize this and then pick it. But just pick something and stick with it. Accomplish it, and then you can move on to the next thing. And I mean, how do you decide what to start first? Pick the thing that makes you happiest within a moment, that brings the biggest smile to your face, or that you feel the most joy about. What feels like it's connected with your purpose, with your visions, with your dreams? What is your calling? What is calling you? What is moving you? What feels like it's moving you the most? And get ready to explore. Because I'm seeing also you being a bit tentative about exploring. About what this is that you are blossoming into creation. I'm seeing you be in a space too where you're like, I recognize that I have all of this power. I recognize that I have these abilities, these capabilities. Now let me explore them and figure out what I can create with them. And I'm seeing it be very much your call. It's like, if you choose that this is what you want to do, then you're going to be doing it. And that's that. Pep talk, Leo. If something doesn't allow you to feel empowered, if you don't feel empowered by doing something, why are you going to do it? And ask yourself that, because there may be things that you're involving yourself in for reasons other than feeling empowered. When it comes to things that you invite into your life, things that you actively participate in, this is what you want to ask yourself. Does it bring me joy? Does it bring me happiness? Do I feel passionate about it? Do I feel seen? Do I feel involved? Do I feel inspired? Do I feel empowered? Do I feel invigorated? Does it speak to me? Does it call to me? Is it like in alignment with what I feel like is my most connected center? Or am I doing this thing out of fear, obligation that's not really resonating with me, because somebody that I perceive to be an authority is telling me I should be doing that? It's like, if you are like shoulding yourself, you want to pay attention to it. because you may be doing things that are out of alignment for reasons other than empowerment. Like, oh, if I don't do this, I'm going to miss out on this opportunity. Or like, this person won't approve if I don't do it that way, so I'm just going to do it that way. It's like, what do you actually approve of? And what do you want to be doing for yourself? And what has you feeling like I'm being my most authentic self right now, and I am doing the things that are unique to me, because I understand that when I am bringing my authentic energy and I'm stepping into that, regardless of what anybody else is doing, I'm then also not only giving myself permission to be myself, I'm also giving that permission to other people. I will allow that to be transferred and communicated with the people that are observing me doing my thing here. So this isn't just about you impacting yourself. This is also about how you impact the other people that are connecting with what it is that you're doing, with what it is that you're producing, by what it is that you're bringing to life within your life. I'm hearing the show must go on. The dread. You may feel out of sorts or kind of all over the place emotionally. The more you indulge in this, the more confusing it is going to get. It's like you looking at quicksand and being like, oh, that's quicksand. And instead of like going in another route, you're like, let me just dip my toe in. And then it's like you start getting sucked in, and the more you're struggling within it, the more it's just sucking you in. I'm seeing this be like the emotional experience that you're having. Allow your emotions to just be. They're not always going to make complete sense. Don't feel like you need to cling on to them or make them concrete. The more that you play with them, the more it is going to cause more confusion, because I'm seeing something that is like out of order here that's going on emotionally for you. And the more you indulge in this, the more you are creating quicksand for yourself. So do not give yourself the opportunity to fall into this when it becomes, when there's a lack of moderation. Something is dysregulated is what I'm seeing emotionally for you. And the more you engage in it, the more it becomes dysregulated. So keep that in mind. This reminds me as well, I remember listening to Ram Dass talking about how, like, when we go to therapy and stuff, and therapy is a fantastic thing. I'm not denouncing therapy in any way. I have a background in psychology, definitely not denouncing doing therapy and all of that. He talked about how when we go to therapy, it's like rearranging the furniture in the room, and this can be through like self-help or what you're doing for yourself or seeing a therapist. And once we have understood like the layout of the furniture that's in the room, we get to a point where we understand what's in the room, we understand that we can keep moving it around, and at a point we can get so stuck in just rearranging the furniture in the room that we forget there are other rooms in the house that we can be entering. And we can sit there all day and continue like rearranging the room in all of these different combinations. However, you're just going to stay stuck working with the same things. So you tell yourself, let me know when you're ready to stop rearranging the furniture in the room, and we can just leave it like that, and we can continue moving. We can continue moving forward. Because I'm seeing something where it's like the more you rearrange it, the more you're just rearranging it. It's not going to make it do this. It's not going to make it do that. It's not going to do anything other than rearrange it. So once you can see everything that's in the room, you've kind of accomplished what you need to accomplish. And you can keep tossing this around, you can keep rearranging it, but that's all it's ever going to be. It's not going to make the stuff disappear. It's not going to make it appear differently than it is. It's just going to be the same stuff that you keep moving around. So once you've gotten to a place where you're like, you know what, we can just leave it here and let it be, and you want to continue, then you're going to be out of this. Sinkhole is what I'm hearing. it reminds me very much of like when people get so caught up, and this can be something that you've observed, this can be maybe something that you've done at some point in time, whatever it is. People get into this place where like they wait so long for certain things to be like validated, like the trauma that they've been through or the injury that they have experienced, that they get so stuck in like the woundology, which is about like labeling their issues, and I have this and I'm labeled as that and all of this stuff, that people tend to forget because they're so absorbed in identifying with that one forgets that identity is also part of the ego, and also there are steps to be taken after. However, when we're so identified with our trauma, it then can become a whole identity, and that's the woundology. It's like seeing everything through the lens of like trauma or healing. So this is about also getting behind that and understanding that it's just a lens. That doesn't mean that it's not valid, it still is. However, it's just a lens, it's just a plane of consciousness. There is also more than just that. And there's a sense of also being able to graduate from that too. The thing is that the stuff that we're fixated on and the things that we are preoccupied by and attracted to, that's kind of like the plane of consciousness that we are on. Okay, let's keep going. So yeah, I'm seeing something be like, we can continue divulging into this, and that can take up the rest of your life if you want it to. And do you want that to be your legacy? You get to choose. It's only your legacy if you choose for that to be. And this can be anything that you get caught up in, obsessively even. And this can, for some of you, this can just be your emotional experience in general. Identifying like so much with the emotional experience that that's like all that you see yourself as, rather than all of the other stuff that you are. Everything else that you are. Whatever this little wormhole is that you found yourself in, I'm seeing you get out of it. And I'm seeing there also be a decision that's connected with this too. You could have found yourself getting very, very sucked into something. And now there's a sense of being like spit back out by it. Because you are willing that to be happening. Leo. Yeah, I'm getting stuff about like neuroticism and stuff. Neurosis, neuroticism. Just concepts that are flying by. What do you want? You want stability. So how do we get to that goal of stability? There's a sense also of being like quite concerned at times about things within the 3D. I don't know, maybe you have some major goal within your physical life that you want to accomplish that you are like very, very set on. I'm seeing something like this here, but you may like get the blinders on and be just like very focused on what this is that you want. For some of you, it can be like any sort of goal that you want to manifest physically. For some of you, this can be connected with like the industry or even the company that you work with or within. I'm hearing Hollywood community. Maybe some of you guys are in like the arts, filmmaking, acting, stuff like that, music. The devil can represent anything connected with the industry. I'm hearing landslide. Now I'm hearing Land's End, and I'm also hearing Land Rover. Anything else? Yeah, I'm seeing the Land Rover insignia. Whatever this is that you're trying to figure out where you want to go next and what it is that you want to be exploring, allow yourself to have fun. If you're in a spot where like, I'm seeing this kid at the frozen yogurt shop. This is what we're going with. There's a kid at the frozen yogurt shop. You are this kid. There are 79 flavors in front of you. And rather than you being like, yes, I get to explore, I have all of these options of these 79 flavors and I can pick whatever you want, you're like balled up in the corner being like, there are too many options, I don't know what to pick. So it's not feeling fun. Because you're like, I want this and I want that and I want this over there. And it's like, you can't eat all of those things. And like that flavor doesn't go with that, but you want to try both of them. And it's like, it turns into this whole thing. This is about chilling out. Also, too, if you feel like you need to take a step back from this, allow yourself to take a step back. Because I'm seeing you like start to go towards this one and then pull yourself back and then start to go towards the other thing. Going back to the well story, just pick something and go with it, commit to it, and then you can try the other things. But if you keep starting and stopping what this is that you're doing, you're not going to get anywhere. And you're going to have a lot of like, I'm hearing half-finished projects that you're doing. So time to get organized, time to prioritize what you want to be doing and allow yourself to have fun, give yourself a break, enjoy it. This is meant to be fun. It's meant to be exploring. It's not about, it doesn't seem like it's about a particular destination right now. This is about like the experience that you're having. This is about the journey. And once you keep that in mind, it is going to allow you to overcome this obstacle of what this is that you're feeling that's within you that has you feeling pulled in so many different directions. So I'm seeing you get in a spot where you're like, okay, I'm getting a more clear idea about what my options are, what I want to manifest, what I want to bring to fruition. Like, what do I want to be birthed through me creatively? Like, what do I want to be working on? For some of you, this can even be literal too. You could be thinking about a family, but it can also be very much metaphorical where you're trying to figure out, what do I want to create? What do I want to nurture into fruition? I take care of it. This is something I want to work on. This is something I want to commit to. And now you get to make the choice. You reflecting is very, very important here. I'm seeing the Virgo energy be very important. Remember, we all have Virgo. Ask yourself, when it comes to what I want to choose the things that I want based off of what feels empowering to me, what feels like me showing up for myself, what feels authentic, what brings me a sense of joy to be working on, versus what is making a decision out of fear, working on this thing out of fear or out of like lack, or I'm going to miss out on that, or other people are going to judge me for that. You have to differentiate between these two and only take on things that are going to empower you, that allow you to feel seen, that allow you to feel like you're showing up for yourself, you're in a space where you feel inspired, stuff like that. Move towards those things and turn down taking anything that does not resonate with you. Take what resonates with you. That is going to keep you connected with your wishes and with your dreams and with your desires. And if you're in a spot where you feel confused, ask yourself, let me get to the bottom of this. You have to differentiate between what's resonating with you and what's not. There may at times, because of an attachment to worldliness, be confusion. Like maybe this is resonating with me, but I'm not really sure. With the devil, this means that there could at times be things that you're like, I'm kind of confused as to whether or not this resonates with me. You have to go back to asking yourself, do you feel inspired? Does it bring you joy? Do you feel empowered by it? That's what is going to save you. That's what's going to help you here. And also, remind yourself too that if you are solely making decisions based off of like status, because the devil represents Capricorn, that's our MC, it's the highest point in our birth chart, especially like with the Leo here. Like you may have a Leo MC or Leo Sun, really any Leo placements at all that would connect with like you and the world or your work. Leo rising, you want to ask yourself, am I doing this for worldly gain, or am I doing this for spiritual gain? Because at times you may confuse, like, hey, I'm going to be fulfilled if I'm going to be spiritually fulfilled, mentally, emotionally fulfilled if I go after this worldly thing. And then you achieve that worldly thing and you're like, why do I still not feel fulfilled? Why do I feel kind of empty? Why do I feel even kind of sad and depressed about this? And it's because you're looking for, you have like a spiritual problem, we can say, something that there's meant to be some sort of resolve for it. And rather than looking for a spiritual solution, you're looking for a worldly solution, thinking that like status, or you going after something physically, because it's not just status, it can be like money or regard or rapport, like whatever this is that you're looking for, or like being in the lights, whatever this is for you, it is not going to satisfy that thing within you that actually wants to be satisfied. So make sure that you're trying to figure out, when it comes to what I'm looking for, like what type of problem is this? Is this a worldly problem? Is it a spiritual problem? And that's going to tell you the lens that this needs to be framed within, and what type of energy and plane you need to be working on in order to successfully achieve this goal that you have of yours. And that's going to tell you the difference between what it is that you're working on. It's going to organize things for you. Because I'm seeing you have, again, I'm getting this notion about having manpower. This keeps coming through. You have the opportunity, you have the ability to really make things come to fruition within your physical environment. It's like I'm seeing, like anything that you set your mind to, I'm seeing you be a very, very hard, diligent worker, somebody that is very goal-oriented as well, where when you set your mind to accomplishing something, I'm seeing you be able to accomplish it very much. And it even seems like there's a lot that, like, within the 3D plane, there has been a lot that you have been able to accomplish, or like goals that you have achieved, even hard work that you've done. And the thing is as well that like this may be a little bit different of a flavor for you as far as the plane, the energy, the perspective that you're working with. Because you see, like, within the 3D physical reality, I can make all of these things happen and I can accomplish this. And, like, that's not the part that's hard for me. It's, like, maybe the spiritual or the emotional, the mental, the energetic aspect, the energetic standpoint. So it's kind of just like switching the frequency, the radio station that you are tuning into. All right, we are looking at Mercury, Virgo, Pluto, Leo, Capricorn, Venus, Uranus, Cancer. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.